All right, welcome back to Tats and Gats podcast. Very special episode, closing out season 1 with episode 10.
10.
Who do we have here today?
We have Justin.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm happy to be here. I'm thankful that you guys invited me to be a part of your podcast. It means a lot. Just to be able to sit here and just shoot the shit and chop it up with you guys. I
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Lee said he was adamant. He wanted you to be
Number 10.
number 10 to close out the
Close
season.
it out.
That means a lot.
Yeah.
That means a whole lot.
I guess first we're still sponsored by ourselves,
Yes.
RKB Tactical and LinkedIn Tools.
Maybe
You know
some
the-
sponsors in the works. We've been talking.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Hey, man, y'all come and support these guys. Hook them up. Do something so we can make this. It's big right now, but let's make it even bigger.
That's
let's
right.
run that shit up.
Okay, we like to start every episode out with a EDC pocket dump.
He's got it ready. Look at him.
What do you carry on you? If you want to disclose, if you want to share,
Of course, I want to share.
sweet.
Right now, you want to just
Yeah,
go
yeah.
and dump? Shit,
Yeah.
I don't mind it. So, of course, I have my Glock 17 because I'm a big boy, so I can full carry. I got my extra 26 right here, and then of course my normal 10s holding tight.
Nice.
Holstered by 951 Tactical out of Temecula. Go see my boy over there. He'll hook you up.
Yeah, my
Aaron.
my flashlight holster for
Yep.
him. Yeah.
Aaron's a good dude. He phone calls always quick on the shipping. He did all of my dump trays that's on my website.
Oh, yeah.
All the custom dump trays. He did all the prints, all of that shit. So he knocked it out.
Fun fact: I ordered the wrong holster for my
Yeah.
flashlight. My fault. And he was like, "Just send it back. I'll send you the right one."
He's
It's like
customer
so cool.
service, bro.
Yeah.
On point, 24/7. On top of that, I have some gifts for you guys inside of here as
Oh.
well. So this is, let me see. I got where's the patch? I had a patch in here. So these are for you boys to hold on to,
sweet.
as you see. So I have my War Donkey fanny pack. This thing is a workhorse. Inside of it, holding my tourniquet. Of course, I got shears, my flashlight, holding 2 extra mags, and then Intemperance blades. They're out of the UK with the window breaker, just in case if I gotta get me and my son out. And then on top of that, I got a chest seal just in case if I take a shot. And shit, what else am I holding in here? Most important, a little bit of scope to keep the breath fresh. Yeah, man.
Damn, some scope.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be chapstick because the last 3 people have had chapstick in their EDC.
bro, I forgot my fucking chapstick. I'm not even gonna lie, it's somewhere in the house. But then, always a cigar handy.
Nice. What kind of cigar you got?
To be honest with you, bro, I have absolutely no clue. I went to Embassy Cigars in Anaheim Hills, and the guy was like, "You got to try this one. You got to try this one." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I picked that joint up, just something
Nice.
little mini to work with. But the cool part about War Donkey's bags is that I have another holster, and that one, of course, I put my TLR1 light on, and then I can actually place it inside of here. So then if I don't want to do an appendix carry, I can just toss it inside of the bag and just work off of my fanny pack. So it also hold my 17, plus it has some cool spots. Let me turn it around that way. That's better. It has some cool spots for some extra mags and things to be able to hold. It's just, everything's just good to go.
That's cool.
That's
Thank
actually
you,
pretty
thank you.
cool.
Awesome. All right. So EDC pocket dump out of the way. Tell us a little about yourself.
You don't have anything? I do.
Oh, you got an upgrade or
A
a,
little upgrade.
oh, what do
shit.
you have?
What you working with?
I got the
Little show and
He's got a
tell.
new carry gun every episode.
A 43X with a horrible holosun because, that's all that fits. And a TRL 7 sub compact. Yeah, basic off roster 43X with commie mags.
Couple of Tommy mags, couple of 10 rounds. Well, a guy like you only need 10. For me, I might miss. So I need like an extra 26, 30, 40. You never know.
My tourniquet and my People to Kill book,
Oh, damn.
Don't
I
make
thought
the
that
list.
was your passport.
Don't make the list. And your common, cell phone.
Nice.
No biggie.
I got nothing new.
Nothing new.
Yeah, same old. Okay, so yeah, a little bit about yourself, your company, who you are, background, all that good stuff.
So, like they mentioned, my name is Justin. A lot of people call me Jay or JT. I grew up under JT, but then I came out here and everybody just started calling me Jay. Grew up in South Georgia. So that's where my love for the dogs, anything Georgia, I love it. Joined the Marine Corps in 2007, and that's what landed me in California.
Okay.
It was a gift and a curse because I haven't left SoCal other than to deploy and go visit family, and then started contracting. Of course, rewind. 2 degrees, was in college for most of my time out here. One in film science, another one in business management, and shortly after that, just started contracting because I just missed it. I missed the brotherhood. I hated being a civilian for a while. And ended up in Israel for about 6 months, and then after that, hauled ass to Afghanistan for about a year, and then came back home. Moved around a little bit, and actually used to live right down the street on 17th and PCH for a minute.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then just now been married for the last couple of years, and just trying to enjoy that as much as possible. Started the company After Action Debrief, based off of what you gentlemen are doing right now, off a podcast. Just talking about things that were kind of close to me and the stuff that I had experienced after losing my job in COVID, and everything else just kind of kept going from there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you joined in 2007. Did you say what branch you were?
I was in the Marine Corps.
Marine Corps?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
And that was fun. Shit, man. Being a country boy, I ended up showing up out here and landed at LAX and saw the bright lights and was like a fucking deer. I was like,
What is this?
What is this, dude? Like, what am I getting into, you know?
Looks like you're like when you find LAX, it looks like you're landing on the Death Star, and like it's just cement and lights everywhere.
And everywhere. And I was lied to because when you're from the East Coast, when you're from the East Coast in the Marine Corps, you go to Parris Island and then you got to do either SOI or MCT up in Camp Lejeune. So I ended up going up that way, and I asked my combat instructor because I thought I was going to be a combat engineer. That was my first pick. My second pick was being a radio operator, and then my third pick was security forces. So I was like, damn, okay, I'm staying on the East Coast. That's what I thought I had. And I was like, this is going to be the life. I can go home, do all the cool shit that I wanted to do, still see my family, still be in the Marine Corps. No, that didn't happen. They gave me my second choice, which was field radio operator, sent my ass to 29 Palms, right? Ooh. Asked my combat instructor, because of course these dudes been in the Marine Corps longer than me. I'm like, hey, bro, so what's there to do in fucking 29 Palms? He's like, well, there ain't shit to do on base, but, you know, you're about an hour and a half away from TJ, so you could go down to TJ. And I was like, oh, cool, fucking Mexico. I get to go down there. Showed up out here. They said Mexico was closed. San Diego was 2.5 hours away. LA was 2.5 hours away. You fucking wake up and you see nothing but desert, and you're just surrounded. I showed up in July and it was 106 degrees, and I was like, what am I doing here? I made the biggest mistake in my life. Like, I was like, nah, I need to go home. This is crazy.
How long were you at 29 Palms for?
So I did comm school, which was about, I want to say between 3 to 4 months, because of course, when I joined, it was the time of the GWAT. So they were backed up. Schools were backed up because they were trying to get as many people in to haul ass to either Afghanistan or Iraq, right? And I was in 29 Palms for probably about 3 to 4 months for comm school, and situation happened to where we pissed off one of the instructors. Well, he actually, he tried to haze us one night. He showed up at a formation. He was drunk as shit. And he started fucking with, lo and behold, I actually had a cousin that was in comm school with me. And he started fucking with the females. And of course, me and the other guys, we were young kids, started fucking with him back. I ended up writing a statement against him because I was like, this dude needs to get the fuck out of the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Fuck him. Lo and behold, that statement kind of bit me in the ass in a sense because they kept me in 29 Palms. So I finished my whole entire enlistment time in 29 Palms. Cool part about it is that he got demoted. I ended up getting promoted, and I ran into him at the PX, and I just told him, I was like, what's up, dog? I was like, we the same rank now. What's happening? He looked at me and he was like, fuck you, Tyler, and walked away. I was like, nah, bro, you had a lot to say a couple of years ago. Now is the time to let it out your chest. He didn't want to do it. Yeah. So, I mean, it was a good thing, but at the same time, I just felt like I had to let him know that, you know, you kind of took advantage of us as as young Marines. And I get it. I joined the Marine Corps because my dad always told me, like, when I was in the Marine Corps and we did this, we always had to fight our instructors to be able to get libo and stuff like that. I knew that shit was coming. But when you start as men, we're protectors, you know what I'm saying, of family and women and children and stuff like that. So when you kind of fuck with my family, now I gotta fuck with you a little bit. So granted, some people would have been like, I would have left that situation alone. Now I had to bring it back up.
I love
I had
it.
to bring it back up.
Cool. So then you do the private contracting. I have a buddy. I would like to get him on the podcast, but a very similar story. Marine Corps, and then it's like that's all he knew. He loved doing it. He had I don't know how many deployments. He learned how to weld after he got out, and then a buddy of ours, his dad worked at an oil company, a very large one. Got him a job as a pipe welder, and he was supposed to start that job and didn't tell anyone, and was just like, I signed up doing private contracting. I'll be gone for a year. And everyone's like, what, you got this good job lined up? And he told me, or one of our friends, he's like, it's what I do. It's what I know. I don't want to be a pipe welder. I want to go over there and do what I do.
And that's where I was, because I wanted to go into film school. Was like it was a jump. I came back to the barracks, and my roommate at the time was like, man, I signed up to go to this school. He went to recording school because he was a rapper. And he was like, I'm going to go to this recording school. You should check it out. They got a film program. And initially, I wanted to go and get my criminal justice degree. I was like, after the Marine Corps, I had this whole plan. I had this plan laid out. I was like, Marine Corps, as soon as I finish Marine Corps, I'm going U.S. Marshals. The thing that sold me on U.S. Marshals was the movie U.S. Marshals. I was like, man, can you imagine it? Running around here chasing after these badass dudes, going from state to state, and just being able to do whatever, like do crazy shit. So that was my whole goal. And then when I went to him for a campus walkthrough, I was like, yeah, I could see myself doing this. You know, I could see myself shooting videos and doing all that crazy stuff. And I ended up doing it. For a while, I got as far as I was shooting music videos with A-list rappers and doing all types of cool stuff. But then, as a lot of people talk about now in this day and age, I got a little taste of like that Hollywood life. And being a country boy raised in a church and all that cool shit, I was like, nah, I'm good. This isn't for me. And
can you talk a little bit about some of that stuff? Or
man, I have no problem talking about it. It's what everyone says it is. No, I haven't seen any, kids coming in or any of that crazy stuff. But when you step into this realm and you go to these studios and you see, I was with, if you think about it, the music video I shot was with Big Sean in French Montana.
Okay.
The song Moolah, I was in that video. And I was actually in the video too, but I did the BTS and all of that stuff with those dudes. And then while doing that, I was shooting day in the life type videos. So I was in Universal Studios, the actual Universal Studios, West Hollywood. I was in this, I'm going to leave the guy's name out. I used to go to this guy's house, and it was like wild cocaine, fucking women all over the place, young artists coming in that they were taking advantage of. You would feel this eeriness in people, and you would see that they just, I don't even know what to call it. Like they just were all about themselves and doing the things that they wanted to do, and they didn't give a fuck what they took from you. They would take advantage of me in the sense of, we know how much you're worth. We know how much, good footage you can shoot, so on and so on. We're going to undercut you and only pay you X amount, do this, do that. Nah, I don't like what you did, flip that shit. But their lifestyles, man, if I didn't have a wife, if I didn't have a wife to talk about some of the stuff, and it was it's just like, it's what you've heard.
yeah,
Even some of the stuff that Cat Williams talked about in his last podcast interview, it's like that.
Yeah.
So me,
Sodom and
Not
Gomorrah
from-
type stuff, right?
Huh?
Sodom and Gomorrah type stuff, right?
Yes.
So with your background, you're like, nah.
no,
yeah,
because I have to think about it, dude. I gotta go back home. I gotta look at my parents. I gotta, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know that how I was raised, and it's like, I can't be a part of this stuff. Regardless if you're only bringing me in to shoot a music video or shoot some documentary shit, it's just not for me.
yeah.
So I stepped away from that, and I was just like, I'm going to move towards photography, street photography, did that for a while. worked up under this well-known photographer out of the Bay Area. Now he lives in Idaho, named Travis Jensen. And he broke me out of my shell in a sense. I was afraid to talk to people because I didn't trust people. I was like, man, fuck that shit. You know, I don't, how am I supposed to, at the same time, how is it going to be accepted? 6'5" black guy coming up with a camera and putting it in your face. How are you gonna take that shit? So I was like, man, nah, I'm not doing this. And he's like, nah, bro, this is how you do it. This is how you go about it. He walked me through it, and he was well known throughout San Francisco, all throughout the Bay Area, so much that Apple actually hired him on when they first came out with, I want to say the iPhone 10. Before it even came out, they gave him a 10. Took him through the streets, had him shoot photos with it. They took the photos and printed these long freaking ceiling, you know, photos, and they hung them outside of what was the new store at the time. They hung all his photos up, and he was just that dude, and he broke me from that. And that's where I became, I usually say, more of a personable individual, like being able to talk more. But then as time went on, like stuff kind of started making me shut down again. And now it took me these last, actually having a stepson, and having to deal with, you know, children in that light, it kind of broke me out of that shell more. So then I remembered who I was a little bit more. It took me some time. It took a lot of therapy sessions too.
Yeah. Children will definitely do that.
Kids are wild, man.
Kids are wild.
Shake you out of your comfort zones. And
not to get off subject, but the therapy thing, like me and my good buddy Andy, who was on the podcast, you guys will see his episode soon. Well, we were actually talking about doing an in-state ayahuasca trip together. Me and him got a lot of like demons we need to get out.
You need to get it out, bro.
So like we were talking about that, we might do it. So therapy.
Should, because the on that note, like people don't, nowadays and age is more talked about.
Yeah.
But people do not understand what they might have going on in the back.
Yeah.
All they're focused on is what's going on in the front, and they don't realize what's going on in the back causes them to act a certain way that they might not be focused on.
Yeah.
And compared to other folks, it's a lot of dudes out there, oh, I'm fine. Yep. But you've sat here and you've witnessed people. For me, I've seen, it was a lot for me, but may not be a lot for other people, but I've seen enough death, injuries, and, you know, having regrets about a lot of things. It's like every 4th of July, my wife doesn't know about it, but she knows that it happened. Every 4th of July, I think about this kid. I used to live over here in Irvine at a certain high-rise apartment, and 4th of July, I'm up there cooking my chicken, sitting here chopping it up with these young kids from UC Irvine, and all of a sudden, this kid comes out of left field and jumps up on top of breaks through the barrier, jumps up on top of fucking building, and talking about he's about to jump. And I'm like, is this real right now? I just finished my workout, and now all I want to do is eat my chicken, bro. Like, what is going on? And chill. And I'm chopping it up with him because nobody else, you know, knew. And the parents explained to me what was wrong at the time. And I'm like, yo, dog, I can relate. You know, I went to film school. If you want to shoot videos, I'll help you shoot your videos. If you want to be a dancer, I'll help you record. You know, this is before TikTok and all that shit. Yeah. It's like, I'll help you record. I'll help you do this. Just come off, step out the ledge. Let's talk. He was like, I actually had communication with this kid for a brief minute. And then I already said the fucking city. So that police department shows up. They pull me off. And I'm like, are you sure you want me to leave?
I've got a rapport with him.
I've got a rapport with this kid, and I've had him sitting here for the last 10, 15 minutes. Yeah. Why would you pull me off? But they pulled me off, and I went to stepped away, went back to my apartment, and then all of a sudden I see the fucking ambulance light up.
I'm like, dang.
And they made him, you know what I mean? And it was their fault due to certain things. From what I was told, it was certain things that they, the precautions that they thought that they took, they didn't. And he was unalive by the end of that day. So it's like every 4th of July, that shit sits in the back of my head. And that's what I mean. Like, people got to think about that from time to time. Like, you got some stuff that you're dealing with that you got to take those trips. Yep. You got to talk to that therapist, or you got to write in your journal. Journaling is awesome. I just started doing that too.
I was looking into that. I got a bad habit. I just shut down. Mm-hmm. It's my thing. It's my go-to.
Well, and you're a parent just like me, so it's like the shutdown. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, it's true.
I had to work on that shutdown. I used to
It's
shut
brutal.
down on my wife all the time.
You can't just like come home and shut down because you
Yeah.
got kids. Daddy.
Yeah.
You're like, oh.
I know. Yeah, that's not trying to. I don't want to kill the mood. Or
It's important to talk about.
Important to talk
Good
about
shit.
real
Like,
stuff.
But it's like
dudes and
when I first became a parent, took on that stepdad role. That's what I did. And even though that I don't,
that's a hard role,
I used
bro.
to look up to this. Not necessarily look up, but I took what he said in a book, and I applied those steps. I'm not gonna say the dude because just fuck it. Nicholas Kalamatus. I'm not sure if I'm saying his last name right. He wrote a book, and he's on the East Coast. He runs that whole boot camp thing over there where he's got these guys coming in paying $18K. Yada, yada, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And it was a shocker to see him in that video after I just read this dude's book and I put his shit to work and it worked, and now he's doing this to these guys. Like, that's insane. But I used his book, and everything that he was saying in his book was everything that I was doing in life that he said was wrong. That us as veterans, as men, what we were doing. We coming home, we're not paying attention to our kids. We're focused on whatever new video game, because online video, Apple Arcade, all that shit, we're playing those games, and we're just going through life slowly. And I looked at myself and I'm like, this is exactly what I'm doing, dog.
Yep.
It's like, let me pause that shit for a minute and actually try and focus. And when I started focusing, things got a little bit better. But then I still realized that I was still fighting other demons, and that's when my wife pulled me to the side and she was like, you need to go get help. You need to talk to somebody, and whatever it is that you got in, you need to get out. And that kind of took me to a whole nother level.
It definitely helps.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't necessarily think that everyone needs to go forever. I think I see that a lot where people just like, it's just part of their routine and they get stuck year after year after year after year. Not really ever like solving is not the right word, but not ever actually working through the stuff. But I mean, if you've got specific things, it definitely helps to go talk it out with someone and work through those issues. And
1000%.
it's helped me for sure. You know, at a younger age, I went through, and you know, it allows you to kind of move past trauma successfully, you know, or move through it, you know.
Yeah. It's not going to take it away, but at least it'll be that red light that turns on and says, hey, you got some shit over here that you need to figure out, because if you don't, then it's going to get deeper before it takes you into a completely dark spot and you're really alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then who knows what happens after that point once you're really alone.
for sure.
It's hard.
Definitely hard to keep that switch on. Like if you work a lot and you come home and you gotta keep it on all the way till nighttime.
That's tough, bro. Because I know your schedule. I know
That's
your schedule.
brutal.
Yeah.
And it's like it's just being present while at home. You know, it's hard.
And you've got thoughts going on in the back of your head. I've got this thing. I got this thing. I got to
100%.
make this much money
Just
this
zone
month.
out. Sometimes like, hey, where you at? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. For me too, it's like, it's not the same type of work, but like I'll work all day, go home,
Yep.
dad duties, all that stuff, put the
Yeah.
kids to bed. Now it's 9 o'clock at night and it's like, cool. Now I get to sit down and work
Yeah.
on my computer. or
You know,
whatever.
your
It's like,
computer, you're like down and you're sitting there and you're working and you're trying to go through it.
Yep.
But then at the same time, you can't forget about wife.
well, that's how it's came up recently. You know, it's like, hey, I feel unseen. I need more time. You know, and it's good. I'm glad she feels comfortable enough to like bring those things up. And she's right. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's not like
At least we're not training once a month every Saturday, right? Though.
yeah. At least, but yeah, she's absolutely right. I need to like be more focused, and it's hard though because like the work does need to be done.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah, dude, there's that fine line between buying presents and being present. It's
Yep.
so hard for dudes.
And
Yeah.
that was a conversation that I just saw someone have about a rapper, another entertainer. They asked him about fatherhood and being a dad, and they asked him how important it was to him, and his response was, "It's not that important." But they're like, bro, you got X number of kids. It's more than 2. You got a lot of kids, and you're talking about you're not being present is not that important to you. You're only sending money and buying gifts and stuff, and that's really it. That stuff doesn't work.
No.
My son is in the same boat with our situation, and people, they do this and they do that, and it's like it's not the same as a phone call or actually being there to teach something or whatever the case may be. And people have to understand, like, yeah, you got to go to work. Yeah, you got to pay the bills. Yes, boss is calling, or yeah, you have your hobbies, for us, shooting, photography, things of that nature. But you got to find that 45 to an hour or 2 hours to be able to squeeze in, so they'll be like, oh, okay, I remember you being here. I remember this. I remember that.
Yeah, for me, it's the work and the kids come such a high priority. Then it's like, well, what's left in the tank for me, and then what's left in the tank for my wife? Yeah, it's like
not much.
It's hard.
Not much for me. Like I run on like no sleep. Most of my life, but it's like it's wild, man. Because like I'll like my bosses will talk shit to me. Hey, man, taking this day off too. I was like, dude, I will quit this job to go hang out with my kid or something school related. I was like, bro, I could die tomorrow. I'm not going to die with a ton of PTO like you fools. You got like 2,000 hours of PTO. I was like, dude, I got 4 kids. There's always something I could be doing better than being here.
1,000%.
I was like, real quick, we have to pause and take a break for the cameras.
Yeah. Shout out to Canon.
So we'll be right back. We'll take a quick break. Welcome back. We just took a little break here.
Shark hands.
And so we left off talking about some pretty heavy stuff. But good stuff.
I got a question for you.
Go for it.
Where do you see the company going in 2024? What's on the horizon for it?
Man, you got me caught up in a mix right now, because this last couple of weeks I've just been in a whirl of emotions and trying to figure out what I want to do next, really, to be honest with you. I was supposed to drop a t-shirt not too long ago. And I paused on it. It's just been sitting on my Instagram. I'm like, eventually I will, but my inbox of orders is like full. I think there's 60 some odd orders left over from the holiday that I got to get out, that people are already emailing me on, and then there's stuff that just keeps coming in. So it's like, once I get those knocked out, then we'll move forward. I want to be able to, you asked this question when I did Rifle Supplies podcast, if I was ever going to do a range day. I want to get that done this year. That's on the box. That's on the board 100%.
We'll be there.
Yeah. And then with that, I want to try and get not only just your normal, you got your instructors and regular shooters, but I want to get some of these people who have not shot before, some of the I know a couple of NFL dudes, some celebrities, things like that, to come out and actually see, like, there are responsible gun owners. This is what we're doing, and this is how we do it, type deal.
Yeah.
And be able to build that gap in between. But that's on my list. Especially, I just ended up getting asked to come and work on local gyms, Instagram and social media and all of that shit for them, and shoot some content. So that'd be my foot in the door to be able to get those guys out again. I know a few of them.
I saw some of that, man. That's pretty cool.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, I'm excited. I wasn't expecting the phone call, but I ended up getting it because I'm running my youth football's Instagram, and then I'm running mine at the same time. And apparently, in between all of that, somebody said, "Hey, you're doing a good job. Can you come do this for us, because we're not doing it right?"
Rad.
And I was like, "All right, let's go." But while we're still here in the winter, I mentioned this to you. Jackets, trying to get the proper idea for a good jacket. It's going to be somewhat of a Carhartt style, and especially while we have this crazy polar vortex going on, the whole entire country is freezing.
It's cold.
It is.
I love it. Big boy season.
Yeah, heck yeah, it is.
I just whatever. I just let my wife put the heater on like 2 nights ago.
Same.
Yeah.
And she keeps going over there and blasting it. I'm like, dude, it's not that cold.
No, I had a fan on still. I love the cold.
Me too. Me too. I go to bed with the fan on, and she's over there. It's freezing. I'm like, dude, put some more blankets on.
Yes.
It's like, we need this.
Shut up.
Yeah, we're fine. Scoot closer.
Put
we're
some
good.
socks on.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
But it's like, that's the plan. And I want to get back into my giving when I say giving, I used to go out to Veterans Row in West LA during Christmas time. I missed this last year. They invited me out. But I would go out there and I'd take, printed apparel, whatever it is, blank apparel, shoot some of my wife's clothes that she's maybe worn maybe once or twice, some new shoes, and I give it to those vets that are out there. And I want to move back into that. I used to do it just because I felt like it needed to be done, but also, you're talking about our brothers and sisters at arms that the government has chewed up and spit out and just left in the gutter, and they need to know that people still give a fuck about them. So it's like I need to get back into that this year.
What about pop-ups? Because I remember when we first started talking a few years ago, you were doing a lot of pop-up stuff.
I was. That's the plan as well.
Yeah. You're just hitting the streets hard, man.
Hitting the streets hard, bro. But right now, it's like I want to get back. Of course, I have Rifle Supply constantly all the time. They're like, yo, this is the next event. Show up. We're going to set that up and go.
Summer Bash, right?
Summer Bash. You already put that out there in July.
We're going to go attend.
Bro.
Hopefully I'm not Photoshopped this year,
No, you'd be there.
Well, you had to Photoshop you that time. I think you were either at a range there or you were working. It was one of the two. See? So more pop-up shops, get my face in the community and be known. I was known for that for a little while. So it's time to get back to that one more time. I think what slowed it down was my son's youth football, trying to find the dates. But this year, it should be a little bit more flexible to be able to get all that going. I love going out. I don't even care. Like, thank you for buying something. But for us to be able to just sit there and talk and to get the message across, that is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. That's cool.
That's how you and I met.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you came, I remember you had the leg cast on. It was like,
that's right.
That's when we photoshopped him in.
Still had my my crutches.
Yeah.
My daughter, funny enough, I just went to the movies with her, and they had an advertisement for this like soda. It's like a lemon lime soda that they were selling at that food truck. And we're at Long Beach Town Center, and I for sure could tell the lady behind me and her kids were like more liberal. And there's an advertisement in the movie for that soda. It goes dead quiet, and my daughter just yells, "I had that soda at that gun show we went to." It was at that event.
I can only imagine.
I'm just like, cool, lower your voice.
Dad of the year right there.
Taco truck or what?
Yeah.
Is that a taco truck?
Bro, we'll have tacos, dog. I'll be there.
Bro, that is... I don't think some of these people really understand,
Yeah.
I don't want to go too deep into it, or if y'all don't mind, I'm just like, I've seen a lot of the parents. That's how I've made my connection with a lot of parents on our football team, is that because they want to learn how to shoot, or they like guns, or they have always been interested in that stuff. I was like, man, hell yeah. I got boys that'll take y'all out and train you up and get you ready to be able to defend what's yours.
Those are the best people to teach someone who's never shot, because there's like a blank slate. You're not trying to like knock away bad habits. We had to do that when we got our instructor cert. Here's somebody who's never shot. Make them shoot a grouping the size of your fist.
Yeah.
And it's tough. Like pass or fail. Like you gotta like teach them. It's hard.
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, okay, this is cool.
Yeah, it's doable. You can definitely take someone that's never shot a gun or has very little experience, and even in we just had took a few people out, not in an official capacity, but we were at 2 hours, and
everybody's grouping got better.
One guy's doing reloads. Yeah.
That's short of time. Because I have bad habits. I have bad habits because fucking Marine Corps. I've seen these videos and everybody's like, dude, just because you were in the military doesn't mean that you're a great shooter, or that you're this, you're that. Man, half of these people who end up going to Marine Corps, they're taught just basic. It's basic stuff. It wasn't until now that they started implementing a new type of range, new style of things to do. And I don't know. I've heard good and I've heard bad. And I'm like, that's the type of stuff that they should have been working on in time.
You would think.
Yeah, we're privileged to be able to see some of the newer stuff with our buddy Joe.
Yeah.
And it's come a long way.
It has. Because before it was like stagnant in place.
Yeah.
Very little, shoot move. And then when they started implementing shoot move, because everybody in Iraq started coming back, teaching new things, then now this is what you get. This is the final product is where they're at right now. And it's because these guys over in the Pentagon, one of my buddies is over there. They're like, we go to more civilian shows. We talk to these civilian instructors that are doing different things, and we take it back, and it starts headquarters Marine Corps and works its way down. And it's just all good stuff. It's good to see that's happening.
Yeah.
To be able to break those habits. That's why I humbly go to you and say, hey, let's go shoot and let's work on this and let's work on that.
But it's just kind of like it seems like a wave, like all like the dudes who hit the Gulf War, they were all trained for like Vietnam stuff.
Yeah.
And it didn't work there.
No.
And then once everyone hit Afghanistan, that shit didn't work there.
Nope.
You had to evolve.
Yeah.
Plus now, like, stuff's getting crazy. Drones? How the fuck you fight a drone?
Drones, night vision, thermal.
Like, everybody has everything. Like, there is no more of
Modern warfare is going to be nuts
is.
soon. It's coming soon, right?
Hell yeah, it is.
And what did it do? It went back to just trench warfare.
You went back to trench warfare real quick with Ukraine.
But trench warfare with drones.
With drones,
with
they're
drones.
dropping drones
Yeah, with
down
drones.
on you. Start hearing that buzz.
Dude,
And now they're like,
those
oh.
videos, like, I don't care which side is getting,
Yeah.
droned. It's hard to watch like a soldier just like wait for his death
Yeah.
and then slowly die. You're just like, why did I
Yeah.
just watch that?
But then, like, because I'm fucked up, I'm like, damn, that was such a good drone shot.
For
bro.
real.
Man, bro.
Bro, you wanna know where I feel like they got that from? Call of Duty.
100%.
Call of
100%.
Duty.
Yeah.
Like, there was one dude in a fetal position. He was like this, and they dropped that thing right
Right
here
there.
on him, bro. I was like, how?
Bro, I watched a
I was like,
video
tight.
of a guy. He had a car that was in front of him, a truck of some sort. He was running around the truck trying to get away from it, and finally he just couldn't anymore, and it just dropped right on him.
He's like,
Yeah,
and I was
that's
like, damn,
hell.
dude, you're literally trying to run. You're running for your life at that point.
From a little toy robot.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
DJI
at least
gotta
in
stop
war,
making them, dog.
at least in war, it's a guy with a gun you're fighting,
Yeah.
you know? What's that?
Oh, the DJ would never stop. They're like, we're going to give you this
We're gonna
contract,
keep running
bro.
them. Screw
They're
it.
like the new Raytheon, man.
Yeah, they are. They didn't came up in the game. This
Yeah.
warfare stuff's good. We're making
As soon
plenty
as,
of
soon
money.
as they launched that thermal one, everyone was like,
Yeah, thermal's crazy.
But then that's what's getting those dudes over in Iraq right now.
Yep.
That's what's getting them, and it's like, how do you stop it? What do? You put an EMP up, and then you shut your shit down too. And there's no stopping it. It's over.
No.
with.
I'm weird like that, though. I keep all my shit in EMP proof cases, especially my night vision, because
Yeah.
those are real expensive.
Those are really.
I
you
can,
don't
I
want
can
to
care
do
about a phone. Nobody needs to call me if I'm out there.
this. If you're out there,
Should I keep my
trying to
night
do-
vision in my EMP bag? Or my Faraday bag?
You should. There's actually a company that makes a Faraday bag that goes inside your whole case, your whole Pelican case. So anything in there's cool. Radios, comms, all that. I mean, if shit does crack up, I'm not calling anybody on myself when I'm, punching that time card, dog.
Yes, sir.
You're like,
I just get smoked by some kid with a fucking AK, dog. Just some 8-year-old just blip.
dang, bro, I'm sorry. Don't let that happen, please.
Oh, no.
You're like, man, y'all heard about Lee? Yeah, it was a
got it.
9-year-old, bro.
Don't eat him up, man. The first battle, bro.
Segueing from that, what is something you think is like a underrated aspect of training, or this whole gun thing that we do?
Medical training.
Medical.
No one takes it serious. No one understands how important it is. Nowadays they do,
Yeah.
but I came home 2015, late 2015, early 2016, right? Got my bleeding control cert, went back, got my bleeding control instructor cert. While I was in Afghanistan, I ended up getting a first responder cert, going through all of that stuff, right? The company that I was working for, a rather large company, I went in and I told them, I was like, this is something we need. I was like, active shootings have become more
Nope.
broad, like it's happening.
Yeah.
And us being a company of any given day, you have X number of thousand people on property. Everyone needs to learn this stuff. And I had to harp hard, like beat them down until they finally understood it. And then once they decided that they wanted to implement it, I don't know if they did, because I ended up leaving the company and working for a private investigations company. But it was like, once they finally got that shit down pat, or said that they were going to do it, I mean, it wasn't too late. It's always better late than never, but they finally got that shit right. And then, man, I was living in Tustin, headed to the LA Fitness on, I want to say Alton Parkway or somewhere down that way.
Ooh, fancy over there.
Man, no, My apartment damn sure wasn't fancy. I had a window, air conditioner whole apartment. That sucked. But but I was driving to the gym and a Marine ended up flipping his motorcycle. Helmet came off, biggest gash that I could see his skull. There's already traffic built up and I see everybody and they have him stand up and walk over to the side and this dude's doing one of these, falling all over the place. First thing I did, I had my kid in the car. I grabbed it and I ran down there. I was like, has anybody talked to him? You know your name, know his name, know what's going on. Don't put pressure on his head because you don't know what else is cracking. You end up putting pressure on his brain.
Ooh, yeah.
Ended up wrapping that to stop the bleeding, but then I started noticing his leg had blood coming down from it as well. I was like, fuck, is there a fracture? Like, what's going on? And I'm like checking to see. So then I ended up cutting the poor kid's Levi's, and it was just really bad road rash.
Oh yeah.
Damn, that's
But
bad. They see through like that, some Levi's.
Yeah, I had to cut his Levi's, bro. His 501s got fucked up. He starts looking at me. Trauma, right? Starts looking at me, and he's like, "Dude, don't let me die. Don't let me die. Don't." And then he goes from that to, "I don't want to get in trouble. My first sergeant's gonna kick my ass," and I'm just like. I'm like, dude, I was like, number one, you're going to be all right. Number two, you know, your first sergeant's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. You know, this is a situation that you don't even need to stress over anymore. But the problem is that there were freaking 10 to 15 people standing around, didn't know what to do.
Yep.
They had absolutely no clue.
Yep.
By then, I already had whipped out my tourniquet because I didn't know what was going on with his leg until I cut it open and saw, oh, okay, it's just road rash.
Yeah.
You know, but the problem is that you have a lot of people that are out there that are like, cool, I got my CCW, but what do I have next?
Exactly.
And you're like so much more likely to roll up on a car accident, someone that needs help, medical attention, than you are to ever have to shoot someone. Like,
Than ever.
Yeah.
I've had mine for a while, and there's never been a time where I'm like, oh, I feel like I need to pull my. Oh, it goes with me everywhere, but I never felt like, oh, I need to pull my gun out.
you got a situation?
Yeah.
You work in a weird, like your first job is cool, but your other job.
I mean, my first job's, you know, it's cool too, but those inmates can't shoot for shit, so you know.
They ain't trying to shoot you, bro. They trying to get free if they do anything.
No, but I can't trust them to protect me.
Yeah, man. The medical stuff is
The medical is 1,000% important.
We had John on here. He's badass medic.
a couple episodes before yours. Yeah, he brought a bunch of medical gear and stuff.
What not to carry, what to carry.
Yeah.
Stop being tactical.
Yeah,
Stop
nah.
carrying fucking.
Needle decompressions.
Yeah.
No,
like,
I want to say I had one in there, and then I took it out because I'm like, I don't need that. They gave me that shit when I was overseas,
He's like,
and I'm just
nobody's-
like,
he's
that's
like-
a different story over there than over here.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no law. It's like, if you fuck some shit up, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, shit.
And it's like not everybody knows how to do that and be
Yeah.
able to check to try and decompress, you know, somebody with a collapsed lung or some shit. I had a nasal flange in there one time, and I'm just like, when am I going to come up with this?
Bro, I put one of those in this.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Those things are gnarly.
I went through, I never want to deal with that. And I remember when they were teaching that when I was in the Marine Corps, and they did an example on one little junior Marine. And I was like, man, fuck that. You're putting a dick in your nose. Like, I'm good. And lo and behold, man, I ended up having that nose surgery I had. Ended up having, bro, I don't wish that on my worst enemy.
Damn.
No. If you saw the video, they put true tampon size gauze inside of mine. That's what they were called, nose tampons.
Did you see his video when he took him out?
I did.
You saw that, right?
It's like, blip, blip. Oh. But there's like the sigh of relief. He's like,
Yeah. That's gnarly.
If you ever want to, like, I was waking up every night and I felt like I was drowning. I didn't sleep for 48 hours.
You know, I just recently had a zit on the inside of my nose, so I feel you. No, those hurt though. On the inside. Oh.
The inside zits are the worst, or the ones that you get like right here. Top, man, that's horrible. Fuck that. I feel like I just got punched. My eyes start watering and twitching, trying to get it open. It's bad, man. But that and people learning medical and people actually taking classes and courses and learning how to shoot.
Yeah.
And knowing when to shoot. You can't just start blasting at someone if you got a crowd of 40 people behind that target. Know your target and what lies beyond.
Yep.
You know, you got to pick and choose those moments. And some folks sleep on that. You think you can just carry a gun and that's it.
Yep.
Nah, man.
I know your laws too in your state for the legal use of a firearm or lethal force and self-defense. Like there's windows, like words mean things, like Mark from First Defense says. The laws have stipulations. It's why like people ask, oh well, why did this person not get tried for this? And it's like, because the law clearly states these are the parameters to be charged with this, and what they did falls outside of it. There are laws for when you can and can't use a firearm in self-defense.
100%.
So like, know those laws, know when you are legally allowed to or able to.
And someone said something, I watched a video and they were like, because the person broke in the house and then they turned around and ran out, right? Oh, I would have started shooting. Oh, well, you would have went straight to jail too.
Yep.
Because you can't shoot somebody. Once they're leaving,
Yeah.
bye.
Hey, turn around.
Turn around. I would have
wait
said,
a second.
hey, you dropped something. You know what I mean? Then it'd be a different story. But it's like, if they're running away, you can't do anything about it. And I felt bad for that guy, that Beverly Hills dude that started shooting everybody, and they took his CCW and his gun. They took all this stuff from him.
So that guy was doing one of those $18,000 weekend trips.
Are you serious?
That day he came back. He was coming back from one that night. So he went the next morning and told the story about what happened.
What trip?
That class, bro,
Yeah,
that I was talking
one of those
about.
like big $18,000 classes where they it's like a mini boot camp where they yell at you.
Oh,
So it was during one of those out by like my neck of the woods with certain people,
And then he came back
Some
home.
of my buddies that I'm gonna go participate at the end of the month in.
Bro.
I would be a bad guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you're
Oh,
signed
like in a force thing, you're gonna be a bad guy.
if you're signed up, I'm gonna fucking shoot you.
They need more people,
You could pay me less than 20 grand to shoot you, but I'm gonna shoot you.
dude. Okay, so he came back from one of those.
Yeah, like that night. Like he was
Oh
coming
my
back
God.
super late because it's long hours and it was far away from she has some bougie ass place in Beverly Hills, but
Yeah.
those dudes hopped out. But like that dude couldn't shoot, bro. Like he didn't shoot good, dog.
You didn't shoot good.
I
at
know it
all.
was under pressure and everything, but like he
Yeah.
didn't shoot good.
It's
at
hard to-
all.
But that's what you have to work towards. You have to work towards that pressure and understand.
But
you know
like-
what I mean? Y'all know that.
But that dude fucked up. He'll never get that chance again. But
I always say, it's like having a ticket. You get to punch it once. Is what I think. Like, yeah, of course you legally
bro, there were like what 3 or 4 dudes in his like corridor. Like he had a big ass wall, bro. Like those dudes shouldn't have hopped back over that wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
all
one
of,
bit.
not all of them, but
Yeah.
I was like, damn,
One or two of them would have stayed on my
missed
side of the wall.
opportunities, bro.
Yeah.
Missed opportunities.
But I think that brings up a good point of like, that guy was coming back from some long weekend trip. Didn't expect that to happen.
Did not.
Your thing with the guy on the roof. You're just 4th of July cooking some chicken. Just had a workout. Like when these catastrophic events happen, it's not like you're gonna be like, today's the day.
Bro,
like I always joke with him about carrying a light. Like I have a not a superior light on my gun, and I'm like, well, I just plan on not getting into shooting in the nighttime.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a joke because
But
you
they, like-
can't control that.
But they like cased that dude. If he would have had soft skills, he would have been aware. Because if you see him when he's rolling up, he's got a Starbucks in his hand. It means he just stopped there.
Yep.
So they probably cased him there, followed his ass to his bougie ass house, and when he's like with his keys and his fucking Starbucks, and then he had to drop all that to draw.
Yeah.
Those dudes knew exactly what they were doing.
They
That was
knew.
an easy target because of lack of soft skills, being aware of what's going on.
But at the end of the day, him and his family lived.
True.
Yeah.
Right,
He got a CCW taken away for
I
some
hope he's
warning
got
shots.
something else to be able to defend him next go round.
Yeah, he's gonna have to hire someone.
Shout out to LA County. Y'all fucking suck.
Dead ass, bro. Dead ass. I got some good people over in LA County that
Some
are my
good people,
customers.
but
You know what
man,
I'm saying?
that mayor sucks.
But them higher ups and everybody, nah,
Brutal.
man.
Yeah.
I feel like since you brought it up, this state as a whole, and I don't think people understand like what we have here. The people like us, you know what I mean, that are willing to die for this shit, is going to be the one that because of the laws they're gonna be the ones that fold over for whatever that ends up happening. People keep talking about civil wars and all of that shit.
We'll see.
and we'll see. I doubt it's gonna happen.
Probably
I'm not
won't.
trying to sound like a conspiracy
happen.
theorist, but it's like the rules that are in place are just
Yeah.
are the ones that's gonna break us down more than anything else.
Well, I think I talked about in the last one with that. I think everyone has their own line in the sand of what they'll tolerate as far as laws. I know me personally, maybe I shouldn't say this on a podcast, but like with SB2, no longer a law, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever happened
For now.
For now, by the time this podcast airs, it might be back.
Probably.
But No, like I went through all the hoops. I took the classes, paid the money, whatever. You're not going to take my right to carry a firearm away. Like I already did it legally. I'm already a law-abiding person. I'm not a criminal. I'm sorry. You can't just pass a thing that says I can no longer do that. So like I think there is a tolerance level where even in California, people are like, okay, enough is enough.
For real, if you want to take my permit away, I got a pocket size, Second Amendment book. There it is.
There's your permit right there, bro. But it's like they're trying to take not on guns, but they're trying to take youth football.
Oh, really?
Yes, youth football under 12.
They don't
No
want
tackle.
Whoa.
Yep, people don't know that. It's been quiet. It's starting to grow. A couple of retired NFL dudes started posting about it that live here in California. Different Pop Warner and Snoop youth football leagues have started posting about it more and more. But they're trying to take youth football.
Leave the kids alone,
Dude. I'm not super athletic, but I did Pop Warner when I was young, and like
we could tell.
there was it definitely taught me some discipline at a young age, like doing something difficult I didn't want to do that I had to follow through with.
Yep.
Like that's a shame if that goes
100%.
away.
And it teaches kids to deal with adversity.
Yeah.
And to understand like this shit is tough. We take our kids out during the summertime. We have our hell week. It's hot outside where everybody's sweating. I leave. I got salt on my skin. It's bad, but it teaches them to keep going and not quit, and teaches them some grit. And that's what the current generation is slightly missing. The new generation that's coming up in the world, they're slightly missing. And I've played, man, having my son, I've played these kids over in Irvine, and I'll admit it, they're soft. They're soft. And it's due to the parenting.
Yeah.
It's the parents that say, don't do, the kid would be having fun, and the parents are saying that it's too tough, or you're doing this, or you're doing that. Or I had a team that forfeited in the playoffs because our kids were playing too aggressive and we had already ran the score up. You know what I'm saying?
Quitters.
We quit. We're done. The mom went and told the referee. The coach didn't do it. Coach didn't even know. They over there on the sideline having a damn business meeting, and 5 business minutes later, the mom walking over on our side because that's where the ref was and said, hey, after this play, we're done.
Dang.
And the kids are over there laughing and joking and having fun.
Did you see that video? I think it was baseball, but something happened. The kid like got out or whatever, and the mom yells something at the ref, and the kid's like, "Mom, stop!"
Yeah.
I was like, "That is so cool."
That was cool, and that's what I'm not saying. Kids need to be defined of their parents, but parents need to let kids experience some ups and some downs. The life that we live is not going to be fucking pretty. No. Because the program that we see out here on that black pavement, that blacktop out there, is not pretty. I don't care. You think like these parents think that their life, the kid's life, is going to be so well off that they're only going to experience highs and wins and constant growth and all of this shit. It's not going to work. The shit don't work in fucking Korea or Japan. And I only say that because instantly when somebody in Korea or over there, they experience something fucked up, they think that they're not good enough anymore. What they do, they start jumping out of buildings. That's a proven fact.
Yeah.
Because they instantly think, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm going to disgrace my family. No. Go through that shit. I done went through it. There's been plenty of times in my younger years, when I came home, I'm like, come home with $60,000 in my checking account after contracting. I ain't never seen $60,000 as a young man. I got 60 racks just sitting here chilling. What do I do with it? And then there's times where I've had negative $10 in my checking account. What do I do?
Yeah.
The end of the day, the hustle don't stop. You pull your pants up like a man, or you pull your dress up like, well, not pull your dress up like a woman. Don't be pulling dresses up. But you put your shoes on,
yes,
and you go out there and you pound that pavement and you get your grind. I could have cried after I lost my job, and which I did. I was like, man, what am I going to do? How am I going to provide? I just lost my job. COVID out here. COVID was a prime example. Everybody lost everything. But it took people that said, I'm not going to put up with this. My family needs this. Or my kid needs this or this, you know what I'm saying?
Or I'll never be caught in a position where I'm in that position again. Yep.
And they write that shit off and they keep rolling. Yep. If you don't teach your kids how to deal with adversity now and to deal with downfalls now, then as adults, they're done for. They're 100% done for. And I learned that growing up in the South, dealing with my dad, a man who didn't have anything, who farmed, who lost both of his parents and had to live with his brothers, my uncles. and had to come up with everything that he had to, to be able to provide. Now, looking at my dad now, you wouldn't even have thought it.
Yeah.
It took him it wasn't until he came back from being in Iraq in the middle
We're almost done.
in the middle of his retirement to come home to be able to actually be in a good position.
Let's take a quick break again, reset the cameras, and then we want to ask you like our final question and finish up.
Let's go.
Okay, just had to reset real quick. Yeah,
The finale question.
the final question.
Let's go.
It's our favorite question. And
got it.
I'm really excited for your answer.
All right.
What do you see as the greatest threat facing the United States today or in the near future?
Our own people.
Everybody's the same.
Where's my camera? Our own people. Because we can't get on one page. The last time that we were ever united was 9/12 after 9/11, and it took how many thousands of people to lose their life before we said that we're all Americans and we end this shit together?
Yeah.
Our own people. But you want to know, our government is separating our people, but once we get together and say enough is enough, we're not separating no more. We're all in this melting pot together. The rich people start experiencing some hardships from being greedy. Then we'll be as one. And when I say that, no, I don't think somebody at Taco Bell need to be making $20, $25 an hour. I'm sorry. Sue me. I don't care. I don't. That is a job that is supposed to be a stepping stone. That is supposed to teach you a work ethic. But since they have asked for that, what are the people who sit up in them top offices do?
AI and robots.
AI and robots, and they raise the price up on the food.
Yeah.
The only folks that's not doing that, shout out Chick-fil-A.
And In-N-Out.
And In-N-Out. Yes. And In-N-Out.
They went up a little bit.
What's that?
They went up a little bit.
Bro, me and my son go over there and get a meal, and it's like $20. You go to Taco Bell and get a meal for two people, you In-N-Out. I went to McDonald's, last night?
McDonald's is wild.
Bro, I spent $33.
Yeah. In-N-Out, I can feed my family of 4 for like $30.
Yes.
I mean,
And that's me getting a 3x3 and 2 Flying Dutchmen.
Yeah, you serious?
I mean,
That's a good thing, though. I love Flying Dutchmen.
it's,
bro.
it's no Sizzler though, bro.
It's no, but Sizzler's expensive. It is.
Yeah.
Especially when you have kids who get a salad bar and don't eat. They're like, I'll try a cucumber. It's like,
Kids, bro.
Yeah. But that's America's biggest threat is that we keep defending nonsense and we keep allowing things outside to rectify what we do here. And the minute everybody says enough is enough, we need to get back on a good page. We need a paying wage. We need to stop the inflation. We need to stop raising taxes. I don't know why taxes in this state so damn high, and get things rolling. Then we'll be good.
yeah.
Once we're good, then I bet you everybody's lifestyles change, and we'll stop paying attention to other shit. I don't think anybody paid attention to politics until 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't. My dad and I just had this conversation, and I told him, I was like, when Obama went into office, I didn't vote because I was deployed. I voted, and then before that, I think I missed it because I think he was either still in Iraq or I was getting out of high school. It was one of the two. I missed it, whatever. But like these last couple of elections, I've been in on it. Since 2016, I've been paying attention.
Yeah.
I've been curious about why everything costs the way it costs in the state of California, and looking at taxes and because it affects my pocket. I can't pay my we walk out of the grocery store. How many back in the day you spend $200, you came home with a damn arm full.
Yep.
All the way up here, and then you still carrying bags and need help.
Yeah.
Spend $2 now, coming out with 2 or 3 bags.
Yep.
And not even the expensive stuff.
No, that's cutting back.
That's cutting back.
The Obama days were wild, man, because working for the government during the time and people that were serving too, there was no cost of living raises. You got one, both his terms, one. He didn't give no raises to nobody. I was like, damn, bro.
Can we get something?
Something.
I felt like I was lied to at that point in time. I know we on strapped on time. I'm just going to say it, but I don't even think there was very little. That was when I got out of the Marine Corps. There was very little help. Those were my down days. I was hurting. You know what I'm saying? They were, we're going to give more jobs to veterans and go work at this place and go work at that place. Shit, wasn't nobody hiring.
Yep.
You come in and say you're a vet during Afghan, the GWAT, oh, you got PTSD, oh, you have this. We're not trying to deal with that.
But it was a good soundbite for a politician to say. Yeah.
To say 100%.
Yeah.
I think the only thing during that era that was good was, some people don't like it, I'm somewhat thankful for it, was the medical care that he put out at that time. Yes, it was fucked for some folks, a lot of people actually, but it gave my mom a chance to go to the hospital or go to a doctor, be able to get her cancer screening, and they found her breast cancer and got it in time early. She didn't have it at the time. So that was the one thing.
Yeah.
And that was just because it benefited my mom at the time.
And the cell phones, the Obama phones, all the crackheads.
Yeah.
Healthcare is a tough one, man. Like, you take principles like taxation, Second Amendment, freedom of speech. I get those. Those are very cut and clear to me. Very simple. Healthcare, I'm like, oh, that's a complicated. I'm not smart enough to handle that one.
I can't mess with that one.
No.
all I have is a bunch of my Euro friends who hit me with the, dang, y'all's medicine costs this much, or it costs that much. Over here it's at this price, or it's free, or it's whatever the case may be. Well, I had friends up in Canada, because you know how Canada always like to talk trash about America, but they need us, right? So they're oh, y'all your medical cost this much, or it costs that much. And I was like, yeah, how much is yours? Oh, it's less than that. It's free. It's this. And then I found out, I said, bro, how much do y'all pay to park? I was dating a girl up there a long time ago. She talking about it cost her $300-400 just to park her car type shit. I don't know if that was true, but that's what she told me. And I'm like, at a hospital. And I said, now it makes sense why you're medical free. You paying for that to park your damn car for 2-3 hours.
But I've also heard they can't get medical care when they need, like, it's harder to get a surgery when you need it. It's harder to get, like, stuff like that.
Because they have a long line. It's like going to the VA.
Crazy.
Yeah. The VA, I don't know much about it because I'm not a veteran, but I've just heard from enough people, like,
It's fucked.
it sounds rough.
It is.
It sounds like we don't take good enough care of the people that served our country.
Yeah. And for my, I've been fortunate enough to get certain surgeries done, get my feet, things of that nature taken care of. But early on, it was shit. There's no other real way of putting it. I've had times where, when we spoke about mental health, I went in and I would go see the mental health, what is now the mental health emergency room or whatever it is. I went in there and I told them, this is what I'm going through. This is what I'm experiencing. And their answer was, shh, here's some pills. Cool. Here's some more medication. We're just going to send you 3 more bottles on top of that. But they still do that right now. Yeah, they gave me a psychiatrist, mental health specialist outside of the hospital. But then at the same time, I get on the phone with some nurse. I don't talk to them no more. Yeah. Because I get on the phone with a nurse practitioner. She's like, oh, this is what you're experiencing. Here's another dose. I told this woman one time, I got so... Listen to me. When I say I got so pissed off with this lady, I had I think I probably blacked out on the phone with her, and just I went through a whole thing, and I told her, I said, I don't need any medication that's going to cause my heart rate to go up in my sleep. I don't need any medication to cause me to have any more bad dreams. I need you to fix all of those things and give me a small dose or whatever it is, and let's work from it. You know what? She sends me another medication that did all of that. I woke up in the middle of the night, cold sweats. My heart was beating out of my chest, and I was afraid to go back to sleep because at that time I had a damn bad dream. And when I have bad dreams, I woke up in the middle of the night. I love my wife, and I'm sorry, but I'm violent. You know what I mean? And I haven't like beat her or nothing like that, but she's felt me, go crazy, and it freaks her out because she's a light sleeper. So they don't listen. Are they trying to get better? They throw money over a problem. I just submitted my claim for toxic exposure, and they denied me. But I got a cyst in my nose from sinusitis, and I've had exposure from being on ships and being around gas and poop and all of that shit. But you denied me for it because you don't want to pay that fee.
Yeah,
I'm 90% right now. They know if they got to back pay me and bump me up to 100, that's gonna cost them a lot. But it goes to a place in California. It doesn't go to DC.
Yep.
So you got to think about that person that's over there looking at that shit and what they saying.
Shout out to that 5.2%
there it
bump
is.
this year.
I know I did get that.
I was like, yeah.
But did we get one last year?
Yeah.
What was it?
It was like 3 something. It wasn't as big, but this one's pretty big this year. And there's for everybody. So,
Yeah, it's an election year.
yeah.
There we go.
It's an election year.
Yep.
It's an election year. Gas just went down too over by my house.
Of course.
It's election year.
Yep.
All of a sudden they care about you now.
Yeah. Everything's gonna get weird.
I appreciate it. Thank you this year for helping me out and lowering that shit. But what's gonna happen this summer when gas go back up to damn near $8 a gallon in some area?
I'm gonna keep stealing gas.
Where you stealing gas from, brother?
Let us in.
For real. Tell me when to pull my truck
plug,
up.
boys. I'm gonna use this CDL for a purpose.
Awesome, man. Well, before we wrap, is there anything you want to plug? Where can people find you, find your company? How can they support you?
D After Actions on Instagram. It's the letter D. After Actions, just like how it sounds. www. I got to say the whole thing. And once again, it's dafteractions.com. You can find me here on this Tats and Gats podcast, or you can find me half the time over at Rifle Supply. I'm usually over there kicking it with the boys. And if you got a kid that wants to play football, holler at me, man. Right here in Irvine, it's competitive. Promise you that.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to be with us today. It's a great way to wrap up the season, man.
Yeah, man.
It's a
I
wrap.
appreciate it. I'm thankful to be here. I appreciate y'all having me, bro. I came super comfortable. I saw the guys over at Rifle Supply show up. They were all decked out. They were dressed, but I was like, man, I'm coming in comfortable. I want them to see the real me, and let's just sit back and chop it up.
That's the whole point.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot.
Coming soon.
Season 2 coming soon. Thank you guys. Make sure you follow. We never do this part.
We never do this.
The last episode, we'll tell you to subscribe and all that good stuff.
Fuck up.
Have a good one.